Hey, welcome back to Cooking with Matt. Glad you could join us. The seasons are changing and the holidays are right around the corner. When we started doing these episodes, we were speaking about how much I personally enjoy the holidays and having a lot of people at the house. Thanksgiving is actually my favorite of the two major holidays, Thanksgiving and Christmas, because Thanksgiving is all around food and family gathering together and being thankful. At our house, we do turkey. Some people choose to do ham, but we prefer turkey. And we have learned that since we're feeding so many, to use either a 100% white meat turkey roast without the bone or a turkey breast roast without the dark meat. Now, if you really need the dark meat, go ahead and do the turkeys. I've just found that with as many people as we're feeding, we need about 20 pounds of meat. And to do that, I can't fit two 20-pound birds in my oven. And you never get 20-pound yield off of a 20-pound bird. You have a lot of bone, a lot of tendon, and they fight through the dark meat. This particular kind of meat gives you lots of yield, lots of lean, white, juicy meat, and it also makes cleanup a lot easier and leftovers a lot more enjoyable. You don't have to do all the work to get there. So we're going to do a turkey roast today. This is a turkey breast. The first thing to do is when you get these out of your bag, when you get your turkey out of your bag, number one mistake people make, they forget to take the giblets and the neck and stuff out of the middle. So always check to make sure you get the giblets and the little bag of goodies that they leave inside there out of your turkey. And then give it a good rinse. I've rinsed it off. I'm going to give it a little pat. Try and get the juice out of it. I'm going to leave the skin on. We want that to turn a little golden brown, maybe a little crispy on us. Take that and put it away. This is another thing you should know. You can certainly roast this turkey as it is, but I've found that if you do turkey in a bag, like chicken in a bag, it comes out juicier. So that's the technique we're going to use. And that means we're going to use a baking bag. Out of every baking bag, there are instructions based upon how many pounds your turkey is or your chicken is. And basically, it's about 15 minutes per pound. So this is an 8-pound turkey. We're going to talk about just a little under 2 hours for this one. You've got this nice little flap in your turkey. You can make use of that. I've got a cleaned orange. I'm going to just pierce it a bunch of times. You can let your kids do this. They'll have fun around Halloween doing this. And I'm just going to fold that puppy right in there underneath that skin. Okay, we've got it patted off. The next thing is to add some liquid. Before I put it in the bag, I'm going to put a little bit of olive oil and the other seasonings on top of it, and I'll finish it off when I get it in the bag, so it's a little harder to work with once you get it in the bag. But I'm going to put some of that on right now. Again, liquids come first. I'm going to do a little Marcella wine, a little Worcestershire, some olive oil for my wet seasonings. Then I've got a little thyme, a little celery salt, a little sage. And I'm not going to use a lot of salt, but I am going to use a little pepper. My celery salt is going to cover my salt for me, okay? So let's kind of just go ahead and liberally get your hands into it. This is why I love having kids around to do this stuff, because they like to get dirty. Just rub that up, get some olive oil on it, rub it all around. I like to put a little Worcestershire, let it soak into the flavor there. I'll put a little more on later. Just get a little bit messy. And not a lot of Marcella wine, because it's going to just fall off. It's kind of watery, but just a little bit. I'm just setting the stage. We've got her up there. I'm going to hold her nice and tight. Black pepper. Now remember, when you cook this, you're going to get your drippings, which you're going to add later on into your stuffing and into your gravy. And I like to save the drippings for the meat itself. When I put this into a serving tray, I'll cut off big pieces of turkey breast meat, big chunks like little steaks, and put them into a steam table and use the juice to keep it moist the whole time. This is my thyme. Don't be afraid to rub it in a little bit. Get it all over the sides too. My sage. Sage is the quintessential seasoning for the holidays, especially around turkey and Thanksgiving and stuffing. We're going to use a lot of that. So I would suggest you go get some now, because I've been to the grocery stores later this season to get more because I used it for something else, or I needed more than I had on hand. And next thing you know, I didn't have enough. So that's something to think about. Now's a good time. Oftentimes stores will have it on sale. So again, a lot of this is going to come off when I cook it. I'm gonna put a little more oil in the bag and something else a little bit, just to make it fun. Okay. These baking bags require like a tablespoon of flour. I used a gluten-free flour. I used spelt flour in this one. Like I said, I promised to do this part of it gluten-free so you can enjoy the whole thing. This can be kind of a tricky part. Put the bag directly into the pan you plan to use. I kind of like to keep the top of this a little bit towards the top. So my goal is to keep this around here, so not to the side so much. And I'm gonna put this turkey right in there. You'll see the seam of the bag is going that way. That's kind of on purpose. Load it right into the bag. I've got my oven preheated. It's on 350 roast. And see these seasonings on there? No waste. I should point out that when you have an oven, if it has a convection roast and a convection bake cycle, they're two very different things, and convection roast is hotter. Convection bake is pretty much even heat, but more from the bottom first, whereas convection roast seems to surround the whole beef or whole entree you're putting in there. Give this a little twist, leave some room, move back to the center. And these are made to just come right around, go right into there, and pull it tight. Now, right, here's the next trick that you gotta make sure you don't forget this step. It reminds you to do so, and you want this to vent some heat towards the top. So take little pinches, 1, 2, 3 on that side, and 1, 2, 3 on that side. I'm good to go, 6 pots. You have to have 6 of those pokes there so that the heat can vent out of the bag. The bag is gonna rise and kind of get full of air as the turkey cooks. And like I said, this is gonna be about 2 hours. We're gonna come back and work on some stuffing, but this is going in the oven. And we'll keep an eye on it now and then. I've got some butter here, I'll use that later on to baste it. So here we go, turkey in the oven. This kitchen is smelling so good between the stuffing and the turkey in the oven. I can't wait to dig in and actually eat some food. This has been a multi-step process for both of these ingredients for the holiday dinner, but it's time to take the turkey out and kind of go to the final step. As you can tell, it's got some nice color on it already, but it's not exactly where I want it, so I'm gonna baste it. So what I'm gonna do now is actually cut through the top of the bag and open it up a little bit. You can smell that, it smells so good. You can see all the juice in the bottom. I'm going to use that later on to add liquid to my stuffing, but also to keep this turkey nice and juicy when I get it done. Okay. This is a mixture. I got about half a cup of butter, and I've got another 1/4 cup of olive oil and a little 1/4 cup of Worcestershire. That's all it is, but I want to baste this across the top of this. Add moisture to the parts that are a little bit dry. There's gonna be some good crispy skin on top of that. Open this up, pull it down a little bit. And I'm gonna put it back in the oven, open for just a few more minutes, and brown off the top of that. There she goes. Just like I wanted. Yum. Okay, let's let her sit for a little bit, and then we'll come back at it. We'll do a little more basting and cut right into these chicken breasts right around here. Take some nice big slices off, and I'll cut them this way to make big turkey steaks out of it. So, all right, it's time to cut into this bird and see what we have. Like I said, I think it's done enough. You can never really tell for sure. If it's not, I'll show you how we can fix that. But if it is, there's nothing to worry about. This is the breast right here, and right here. So typically you can start right across the top, do like something like this. Looks pretty good actually. Or you can cut it off the side like this. Hold it this way. and then cut another piece down the side this way. A real hard time with my... Wow, it looks like it's going to be just right. There she is. Oh man, look at that. One for me and one for my film crew here. All right, well, we're going to carve away, but I'm going to taste it first. You can tell it's moist, it's juicy still. It's done just right. Again, the beauty of this, look how much yield I'm getting out of all this. I mean, this alone would probably feed 1, 2, 3, 4, maybe 5 people. Big pieces of white meat coming off of there. So, take a clean fork, you can see inside here, again, how nice and moist and juicy, and it's done, there's no pink. I told you I'd tell you how to fix it if it was. If it wasn't quite done, here's what I would do. I would take this whole turkey off, put it on the platter. I'd open up this bag and dump all the drippings into this pan. Then I would slice it into the pieces I want to serve eventually, and I'd put it back into the juices and put it back in the oven for another 5-10 minutes, just until the juices started to boil and we got everything hot and up to temperature, and by that time it would finish off in its own juices. So bada bing, bada boom, that's how you fix that. If you ever cook a turkey roast and it's not quite done all the way, you got a little too much pink in there, cut it into the pieces, put it in its own juices, finish it off in its own juices. So here it is, the heart of a Thanksgiving dinner right there. Turkey breast, turkey roast. This is going to be some enjoyable turkey dinner. Thanks for watching Cooking with Matt.